All right.
Thanks.
What's that?
I forgot.
Okay. She's always forgetting to turn that mic on. All right, welcome. This is the Budget and Finance meeting for Thursday, April 25th. So we're opening our meeting here. We've taken roll on our roll sheet. Our next item is approval of the agenda. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And then our next item we have available is public comments. Is there anybody who'd like to make a public comment? I think everybody here is presenting. So, a couple of them. All right, no public comments. You have in your package minutes from the last two meetings, because I didn't get them done the last time, and we had a correction to one as well, I think.
28th, it was just.
Oh, that was just a reference to it, yeah.
Joy
Yeah,
was.
we actually already voted.
He was absent and it was added.
Yeah,
to
and
the-
I actually already corrected that from the, we
Yes.
voted on that before, so.
Yeah.
So we've got two sets of minutes. If anybody wants to take a look at them for just a moment, whenever somebody's ready to make a motion, I'll take it.
I'll make a motion to approve minutes.
I'll second.
All right? Any discussion on the minutes? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Unfinished business, I don't think we have any. Request from Coffee County Humane Society, is she here? Yes, it was for both,
Okay,
yeah.
Thank you.
It was a motion for both, right? For both
What?
sets of minutes, it was a motion for both sets of minutes.
Yes.
Yeah,
For all minutes.
that's the
yes.
way we had it on there. Let you get caught up. Coffee County Humane Society. Is that microphone? Yeah, I can see it.
Yes.
It's lit up, yeah.
I don't know how much all of you know about the Humane Society, and I just wanted to pass this around and give everybody a copy. It was a little article that we got in the paper in January, and it kind of lets you know where our funding comes from and what we do with our funding. The county gave us $5,000 last year for cat spay and neuter, and we appreciated it very much. But this year we're asking for $10,000, and I wanted just to explain to you why the increase. If you have pets yourself, you probably know that vet costs have really escalated, and more people know about us. We've been in business for 15 years, but we get a lot of requests. And what really hurts us the most is the cat spay neuter. You know, because our shelters here have never been able to take cats, we have a tremendous stray cat problem in Coffee County, and I'm sure y'all are aware of that. Last year, we spayed or neutered nearly 500 cats. It cost about $80 on average, more for females, less for males, but we also get the rabies shots. So we ended up spending about $38,000 last year just on cat spay neuter. And actually, our vet bills usually run about $10,000 a month. We spent $145,000 last year. We brought in $127,000. Obviously, we can't keep doing that. We fortunately had a little pad, so, you know, we were able to cover our expenses. But we're really having to cut back. We're having to cut back on medical help for people, but we're trying to keep the spay-neuter going. And I want to mention to you something the Health, Welfare, and Recreation Department pointed out to me. We do have a dog program. We take in about 100 dogs a year and adopt them out. And these are usually owner surrender. So a lot of these dogs would be going to animal control. So the fact that we can take some lifts a little bit of their burden. And then the other thing I just wanted to tell you, I want to just give you a snapshot of March of this year so you'll know what we're up against. Our most common call is a family that started feeding 1 or 2 stray cats, and that was fine. Next thing you know, one of those cats is pregnant, and they've got 4 or 5 little kittens. It's still fine. Those kittens are cute. They're enjoying them. They don't eat that much. Fast forward 4 or 5 months, These cats are getting into everything. They're eating a lot, and this family's on the phone to us, asking us to come get the cat and kittens. Well, we don't have a shelter. We can't. All we can do is offer them spay-neuter. Sometimes they're friendly enough for carriers. Sometimes they have to be trapped. In March, we had a waiting list of 5 families in this type situation. Another situation we had was a hoarder situation off of Hills Chapel Road that animal control was involved in. The police department called us. This one older disabled woman had 30 cats in her house. Fortunately, it was her house. There wasn't a mad landlord, but her house is pretty much ruined. We managed to take in 18 kittens that day, and been working all month trying to get them fixed. While we were working on it, 2 of them had their babies. So there was, 2 more litters born while we were just trying to get them spayed and neutered. And vets here are busy. We can't just call and get an appointment the next day. There's a lag time. I'm sure y'all are familiar with Lakewood Park. That's another problem area. We had a lady out there who was an older widow trying to feed 15 cats. They were all feral, which means you have to trap them. And after you trap them and you get them to the vet, you have to hold them in those traps another couple of days before you let them loose. If you just let them loose, they're going to run and pull out their stitches, bleed out. They're going to die, and you wasted your money. So it's a big problem. It's just a lot of work. And we're very lucky to have volunteers that will do it. I'm not one of them, but I admire them that will do it. Stacy Ann Mobile Home Park, they are on our waiting list. They've got some stray cats there that have had kittens. Now the kittens have grown up, and they're getting in their undercarriages around their mobile home. And they would like us to at least get them fixed for them. They're on our waiting list. Taylor Road off Highway 55. An older person moved out, left 6 outdoor cats. None of them were fixed. We're working on them. We've gotten 3 of them. There's some mobile homes on Hillsborough that I believe were Katrina trailers. There's a big stash of cats and kittens there. A neighbor is trying to take the friendly ones, but she needs us to trap them. And I should mention here, we have 4 trappers, 2 in Manchester and 2 in Tullahoma. That obviously is not enough, but we're doing the best we can. The low-income apartments are a problem. People love to dump cats there. A lot of those people don't have a car, so they can't even take the cat, to the vet. They just have to call us. And then last but not least, and this was also from March now, just 1 month, there was a lady who had died near the new Chick-fil-A, and another neighbor called us, and there were 5 cats there, none of them fixed. So that was one we have managed to get done. But this is why we need help. So I hope y'all will consider it. The $10,000 would help us a lot. Any questions?
Mariana, did you already have that request? Has she sent?
I
okay.
haven't.
Okay, so we haven't got anything yet.
I've got some comments.
Okay.
I think the people that own Stacy Ann Trailer Park, that should be their problem. They should pay to get that done because they're making a lot of money off rent. That should be a maintenance problem. Probably also Lakewood Park. They should have to pitch in too.
Yeah, that would be a really good idea. We could approach them about it.
If I owned a trailer park and I had 50 cats there, I'd take care of it myself. I'd either spade and neuter or whatever I need to do, but I wouldn't ask you to do it because that's not your problem. But I would like to make a motion to give you the $10,000 because I think you need it. And
Well,
y'all
we really do.
Y'all do a great job.
We need it desperately. Well, thank you. We
So,
appreciate
Are
it.
we in listening mode now, or do we?
I was gonna say, so do we wanna do a motion like that now, or do we wanna handle it when we take care of all the nonprofits? She
Right.
just has to be here, and I assume because
Right,
it was a good night for you
she's
to come.
requesting, we can wait till we do all nonprofits, and then if that's still what you want to do, that's, we can talk about that then,
Okay, well, that's what,
okay?
I think that's appropriate.
We kind of been doing that with everybody, not just you, so that.
Oh, okay, well, that's right.
no.
Well, the
Yeah.
reason I wanted to talk to you was because of us asking for twice as much as we
No, I
got
appreciate
last
you
year, and
doing
I
that.
felt like I should
'Cause I think
explain why
when
we.
we approved it last year, did we approve like 2,500 in July and 2,500?
You gave us 5,000 and we got it in October.
Got it knocked
Yeah.
out? Okay.
We
I
did.
can't remember who it was we talked about.
We
that.
split, didn't we not split?
Somebody we did.
Somebody was
The
split like
daycare,
that.
I think it was the daycare.
We need it as soon as possible.
I know,
Understand.
not October,
Yeah,
Right.
July would be nice.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's when the budget will be in, so.
Okay. Any,
Not a question, but another comment. I received y'all's newsletter
Oh,
at the end of
good.
last year.
Good.
And I very much appreciate your work.
thank
I
you.
think I loved to see that, I hated to see the statistics, but loved the work that you all are doing, and I commend you all on a job well done.
Well,
Thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you. We have some real dedicated people. Trapping cats is not fun.
I
The
can
cats do
imagine.
not like it. It's heavy, you know, you're trying to pick up that trap with a really mad cat in it, and I admire the people that do it.
You all are doing great work.
Thank you.
I'd like to ask, did you make this request at HWR?
Yes.
You did?
Yes,
Okay.
and they agreed to it and told me I should give y'all the same presentation.
Okay.
In
Thank you.
fact, when I
That's
was
helpful.
going through my March help, one of them said, enough, you've convinced us. Anybody else?
Anybody got any other questions?
All right, well, thank you very
Thank you.
much. I appreciate it.
Add it to the list of things to consider. All right, so who's next? Coffee County Schools. Oh, you are back. I didn't see where you were. I was like, hiding in the corner.
Okay. Coffee County Schools had 3 different items, a budget amendment, the general budget, as well as the nutrition budget. So, and Ms. Cotton is here for the nutrition budget. Ms. Melson would have been here, but her son is in 8th grade, and he has got just a couple of more golf matches left, and I didn't want her to miss one of his last 2 golf matches. So I sent her to Tullahoma for that. So if you have any questions that I can't answer, she does have her cell phone available, and I'll give her a call. But I think I'll be able to handle most of it. What do we want to look at first? The
Let's do
budget amendment?
Let's do the amendment first.
Okay.
yeah.
The budget amendment it ends with 10.
Yep.
And so what this is the state of Tennessee gave out additional money tied to their funding formula called TISA, the Tennessee Investment in Student Achievement. That is a result, that extra money is a result of the test scores that our schools produced back this spring, and that was $356,000 additional dollars. That is not a steady source of income. We don't know how test scores are going to go one year to the other, and so we wanted to try to, what we wanted to do is try to make sure that it got to the schools. So what you're going to see there is under the uses of funding, you'll see a list of contributions. That is how it's be distributed to different schools. They can use that for purposes for whether it's playground equipment or whether it's incentive programs for students and that kind of thing. And the other was we simply added to the rest of it, we added to a bonus for the employees that they're receiving. They are scheduled to receive extra pay in the amount of $750 in the June paycheck. This would add $250 to that. And so basically it was a way to distribute money between the schools and the employees who are basically responsible for the test scores that created this extra funding. And the board approved this at on April 8th, and it needs to go through this body before going to the commission. I'll answer any questions if you have them.
All right. Wait, nobody has any questions. Anybody want to make a motion on that?
I'll make the motion.
All right.
I'd
Give a
second it.
All right. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Now I gotta carry. All right, and budget presentation.
Okay, the main budget, there is pages and pages of it. There are copies available if you want to look at them. But the summary page is the very last page, page 23 of 23. The budget that was passed by the board included a 6% raise for employees. Now, some of you, if you were here last year, you would have heard me say that we had a the raise that we gave last year was based upon a TISA estimate. That's that new funding formula. We received two ways to calculate it last year, and we went with the more conservative number. What happened was the higher number is what became the actual number. So that's why we were able to give employees extra pay this year. And now we're bringing that into the salary schedule. That's why we are doing a 6% raise. It does show a hit to fund balance in the amount of $972,745. We do not think it'll be that high. Could it possibly impact fund balance? The answer is yes. But part of the reason that we have been conscious to build the fund balance during my tenure in the last 5 years, what I inherited in the summer of 2019 was a total fund balance of about $6.5 million. We anticipate that that what we will have at the close of books this year is somewhere between 16 and 17 million. So that allows us to take some chances with, since our fund balances are healthy, it allows us to take a chance with employee compensation. So if there is an overage, it does not even, the damage is minimal. You can see there on that page, we estimate that we could add as much as 1.9 million to fund balance just this year alone. And so even if the worst case scenario occurred and we hit 972,000, it doesn't even remove half of what we're adding this year. So that is part of the reason that we are we're pushing that pay up to 6% for those two reasons. And I'll try to answer any questions you might have.
So I guess the one question I have is, aside from the pay increase, are there any significant expenditures, differences anywhere else?
None that are huge. There will be some increases in CTE pay. Basically, for example, CTE teachers, when we hire somebody to teach our kids the trades and that kind of thing, traditionally they've come in, and whether they have 5 years of experience or 20 years of experience, they get 5 years of experience on the teacher pay scale. So we're trying to rectify that. Obviously, I do believe that somebody who has welded for 20 years probably has more knowledge than someone who has welded for 5. And so there is an increase in CTE teachers because the board approved giving them that experience. So basically that means new hires, if they've been in their field that they're teaching for 15 years, they'll be on step 15. If they've been with us for a few years and only got 5 of their 15, we're going to add 10 to it. So you're going to see a rapid increase for CTE teachers in that department. You will also see the same thing done for nurses, because we have school nurses that maxed out with just 5 years. And I feel like our nurses that have 10 or 15 years of experience bring more value to our children than one who has 3 to 5. And so the board elected to do the same thing. As far as any other individual thing, I'll try my best to answer anything you might spot, but those are the two things that I can think of off the top of my head that would be a rather obvious increase if you went through the budget that way. And in some expenditures, I mean, we did go up on our diesel budget because.
Yeah, who didn't, right? So-
Right. I mean, there are some other things like that we wanted to make sure that we took into account. Let's see. Oh, I will call your attention on that last page as well. You'll see the first bold print line. It says total general school revenues. You will notice it says an estimate of $52,587,000. The budget is $50,819,000. The bulk of that difference is what's called the ISM grant, Innovative School Model Grant. That is what's currently being utilized to build an additional shop at the high school. And because that is not, what will happen is when that is completed, that will come in there and make up most of that difference. That ISM grant is paying for the new shop. It's paying for part of positions that we're slowly absorbing and that kind of thing. And that explains that discrepancy under school revenues between an estimated 52.5 and a budgeted 58. So I wanted to mention that.
So just looking at your last year, original versus amended, you had a pretty good jump last year. Was that the teacher pay that came from the state? Was that, what was that?
As far as, as far as on the revenues,
No, I'm just looking at your, on page 23, the very top.
Right.
Comparing last, never mind, that's 2024. Well, that's the year you're in.
Yeah, 20
So 2024, your original's 48.6 and your amended's 54, so you've added a good bit throughout this year.
that was what we budgeted, as I said to you. The state, when they gave us a new funding formula,
Right.
they gave us two ways to calculate it, and the difference was over $1 million.
Yeah,
And
yeah, okay.
we were concerned about going with that higher number, and so we came in under that. And then there had been some local revenues that have been better than anticipated, and that kind of thing. Because also, that was another thing that we went very conservative on last year. If you recall, at this time last year, all the national headlines were that we were gonna have a recession.
Right.
That never occurred, and so our local revenues, our state revenue was better than we budgeted, and our local revenues were better than we budgeted. And so that's the bulk of that. There are some additional grants in there and that kind of thing that are minor in comparison.
Yeah. Even your amended budget on expenditure side is higher last year than you predict this year. But you had some, did y'all have some capital?
We have
Yes.
multiple projects we are
That's what I was
trying to go through and trying to get those done. That also plays a little bit into, obviously, projects are a mix of local funds and also ESSER funds and that kind of thing, so that plays into that,
All
yes.
right. Any other questions?
What about the buses? I know we had talked about, you needed two special,
That, and that is, let's see, I think April reached out to you, there's special education buses. Those would be in the next year, and that's usually purchased through the county funds.
okay, I just wanna make sure we were
Right.
still going to
Yes.
purchase those out of the rural funds.
Yes, that is the plan.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So you've got multiple funds in this list, right? You have a separate cafeteria fund, as I recall, or you used to? Is that still the case?
A separate, I'm sorry?
There's still a separate cafeteria fund in here, right? A cafeteria fund.
Cafeteria, the nutrition budget.
Yeah,
if
it's
that's
two
what you're talking
budgets,
about,
right?
that
Oh, that's
is,
right. She's
Ms.
gonna come
Cotton
up.
is right here, and
Right.
so any details there, I know the general budget better than I do nutrition.
That's
So-
fine. I was just thinking ahead about how we were gonna make a motion
No,
here.
that's a separate document, and that's actually a separate budget. Usually, this group deals with those as two separate
Yeah.
approvals.
All right. Does anybody have any other questions on the school budget? I think usually we kind of rely on the school board to do their job, and I think they do, and we try to give a sanity check if we see anything big. Anybody want to make a motion on the school budget?
I'll make a motion.
All right.
I'll second.
Any other discussion? Not, all in favor? Aye. Any
Okay.
opposed? All right.
I'll yield this podium in case there is any questions on nutrition. Ms. Cotton will be here.
All right. Give me just a minute. All right. Y'all ready? Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay. I'm of course going with the 6% because, Dr. Law said we want to keep it consistent, minor classified employees, and they deserve the same raises, I believe, everybody else in the school system. But with that being said, I did use a little bit of fund balance this year. I was very conservative on my estimates, but, I feel like we're gonna be fine. I did use some, we did renovate one of the cafeterias, and I bought some cafeteria equipment, and I did some things that the managers have been requesting. But other than that, I think costs seem to go on down just a little bit, so I think that's gonna get better next year, and, the board also approved my budget. And if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer.
So your total expenditure, make sure I'm looking at the right sheet here. Yeah. So your total expenditure is like 3.8 million budget this year?
Yes.
So I was just looking at the fund balance, because your fund balance is coming down, but that's still like 30%.
Yeah, and my
Reserve.
fund balance is huge. Mine really is like $1 million something over.
Yeah.
So we've done well in these hard times.
We would
but-
look at that for the county and say, well, it's a small fund balance, but it's only a $3 million fund.
Yeah.
So $1 million reserve is pretty decent.
Yes.
So, all right. Anybody have any questions about the cafeteria fund? Do we have a motion?
Make a motion.
I'll second.
All right.
Both do it.
Any
Yeah.
dis- Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Department head presentations. So, Polly, I think you're on. Is she here? She was here a moment ago. Oh, I can't see her behind the Ron. Yeah, I couldn't see you behind the Ron.
I didn't make copies of this. I did tell Polly I was gonna put it up here, but if anybody would like a copy, I will send it to them.
All right.
Yeah, we can send one to you. So, are you gonna click for me? Are you gonna click for me? So, I made this, PowerPoint to let y'all know exactly what we do at the library. It's a little, involved, but there's a lot involved in running a library. It's more than checking out books. So I'm gonna go through the job descriptions for my people. The first up is library director, which is myself. I should introduce myself. I'm Polly Vaughn, director of the Manchester Library. And so the purpose of my job is to be responsible for the professional administrative management of the library. That means that everything falls on me. I am the head honcho. I have to, make sure that everybody is doing their jobs. And as you'll note on all of these job descriptions, there is always, and job duties as needed, performs job duties as assigned or needed. The assistant director, they perform all the professional and technical work related to the library, and they should be capable of assuming the library's operation in the absence of the director. Now, the assistant director does a lot of things. They supervise the circulation desk, other staff, reference, and keeps up with the maintenance of the building. And then we have, what's next? The administrative assistant. This is my lifeline, this position. They keep me straight. They keep me straight on the budget. They let me know if our orders have been mixed up. She does all the accounting, bank, checks in all the materials, and she's an enormous help to me. Then we come to our youth services coordinator. I can't tell y'all everything she does. This girl is amazing. And she's in charge of all the programming, story times, collecting donations for our summer reading program. She works a lot of after hours because we have all kind of programs, starting around 5 or 6 o'clock at night. She goes above and beyond. She's just amazing. And I just can't begin to tell you everything she does. Now, I don't know what happened to this cataloger thing, but that is not what she does. Sorry. Okay, the cataloger, they put everything into the system so we can find it on the card catalog. that's a very intense, factual job. It's like accounting. If you miss a period somewhere or a comma, then it won't show up in the catalog. So we'll be looking for a book, but it won't show up because there's just one little thing in there not right. So hers is a very important job, and you know, she's cataloging around 100 to 200 books a day when we have them. We get deliveries of books in a month, somewhere around, I'd say somewhere around 200 a month, and that's just regular orders that are like a monthly. They come out this month, this is what we got to get. Then we have the request from patrons, and then we have needing to order books and things to support the youth services, the children's library, and the programs that go along with it. Then we have our library system tech. This is Randy. He's been with the library almost 30 years, and he takes care of everything, our emails, our backups, our Cersei, which is what we use to check things and out. That's our platform. And he keeps that all running smooth, and he works some nights and weekends when, you know, you can't be doing anything while everything's running. And then we have the library clerk 2, which is what I categorize them. And these, I have 3 full-time clerks, and they provide the customer service, they shelve books, they repair them, they assist in special events, setup and working them, and they just provide regular customer service. And then I have anywhere from 8 to 9 part-time library clerks. Now these are mostly my high school students, my college students that have stayed after they've graduated, and they are basically the evening people. They assist with the programming, they check things in and out, let's see. And as they learn their job and can do other duties, we might move them up, but it won't be a full-time position. They might get a few more hours or something, but we're really strict on our full-time, and we like to promote from within. So the physical demands of the work is we frequently stand, walk, and occasionally sit. We regularly use our hands, frequently reach with arms, hands and arms, climb or balance, stoop, kneel, crouch, bend or crawl, and regularly talk or hear, and we're required to lift 30 pounds. So it is a lot of physical demands on their body. So I tried to be, what's the word I'm looking, to make this short, and this is short, and it doesn't even really begin to tell you every little thing that we do. But there's a lot that they have to learn. I always tell people when I hire them that this is not rocket science, but it is detailed. You can't leave details out, because it is very detail-oriented work. And let's just move on to the summer reading. Since Daphne came aboard, she has increased summer reading participants by 310%. That girl is amazing. And she does that by working very hard. This is where we had our carnival summer reading, which we're going to do again. And it just goes to show how much it has increased and how much the community relies on this particular program. I'm sorry. So we'll get to the budget per se. And I feel good about the budget. I appreciate everybody's attempt to fulfill it. I just have a couple of things I would like to talk about. All these programs, they take people. You know, you can't, we have to run the library in addition to our programming. So we need to be heavy on our programming, on our part-time hours, because they are the ones that come in and help us put on these programs. So I requested $93,240. The mayor's proposal was $80,653. I would like to have at least 5,000 of that back, just to cover my part-time people. I'm really, last year's budget, some of our, you know how the pay ends at the end of June. So we had to pay that out of July, the new budget's money, which left me short on this year's. So, like I said, about 5,000 would probably help me cover that. It would be a lot more hours that I need. And then in my librarian's line, the mayor's proposal went 5% right across the board. Well, I would like around 1,000 more added to that, just so I can give those, the administrative assistant and the youth services, so I can give them an even dollar raise, because I really feel like they deserve it. They work very hard. It would be hard for me to do all I do without them, quite frankly. And of course I had a piece in here. I'm just gonna tell you about the,
She said 5K for part-time and 1K for the full-time librarians.
wow. And I had it all together so much. Well, I don't know what happened to that sheet, but I'll give you a little rundown on some statistics. In 22-23, we had, to our program events, we had 2,550 adults, 614 young adult, 1,753 children 0 to 5, 6 to 11, we had 1,283, and the summer reading was 624 registered, 600 attended. For our adult reading program, we had 160. We had a total of 10,545 patrons registered with a Manchester Library card. 4,488 are Manchester City residents. So somewhere around there, there's about 6,000 county. Our reads, which is the online books and audio books, we had 94,453 items were circulated in-house for the patrons. Now that means it came in, we had to touch it, we had to put it on a cart, and we had to take it out and shelve it. So you say 300, or we average about 300 checkouts a day. So we're gonna have about 300 returns too. So we're handling 600 items a day. So, and the READS program was 36,481. And our library visits were 45,000. Computer usage was 3,345. And I'd like to point out the wireless uses, 12,958. That's not just them coming in and logging on to their computer. That's them coming to the desk and saying, I need to print this, because we have a wireless printer, but I don't know how to do it. So you have to have a person there showing them, or I don't know how to get into my email. You won't believe how many people don't save their password somewhere. But anyway, it's just not people coming in and using their laptop or something like that. We also have a meeting room, and we had 44 events there with 107 attendees. So, you know, I see it every day because I'm there every day. People love the library. A lot of people, you know, I used to tell people when they'd ask me, what do you do? And I'd say, well, it's kind of like the post office. You think it's a really cushy, great job, but then you don't know what goes on. There's 3 hours before you ever get on the road doing, sorting the mail, putting it, bundling it up, getting your money ready. It's kind of like library work. Everybody thinks it's so easy, but it's not. It's very stressful, but the people have a heart to serve, and that's what I try to do, and have in my staff is that, we're not here just for the money. I mean, everybody is there for a paycheck, but there's something a little special about people who really, devote themselves to library work. So, but again, I would just ask for an increase in those 2 lines. I'm very thankful for the generosity in the operating lines, and so I appreciate that, and I won't take up any more of your time.
No, appreciate it. Does anybody have any questions for the
yeah.
library?
I forgot.
The youth service person, when they stay over, work all the overtime, do they get paid for that, or are they doing it for free?
No, I kind of schedule it to where she, if she works 2 hours over, then the next day she can take 2.
Okay. And you said the 5,000 would probably be enough, but probably won't. Is it time to discuss money now or not?
If you want to, sure.
I would rather keep it at 10,000. Because you said probably, it probably is not gonna be enough.
Well, I really do think 5 to 7 will get me where I need to be. I just don't need to cut that much because,
Right.
like I said, the programming we do, and it's not just story time, it's Harry Potter trivia, it's, there's trying to get a Bridgerton tea party together. And I gotta have people to set that up, and summer reading, I don't know if y'all ride by there during summer reading, but we don't even have enough parking for all the people that show up. And I really need to talk with, would it be the city or the county? Because it's to direct traffic.
City.
Probably the city.
City?
Yeah, it'd be the city.
Yeah. Well, they came and stayed like 30 minutes, but we need somebody out there for 2 hours or so. But anyway, I'm sorry, any more questions?
And your lowest paid person's what, $12 or $12.50?
12.
So 5% of 12, 60 cents, so I disagree with your 5% on that. I think it needs to be a lot more.
Well, see, the problem you get to is, how am I gonna hire somebody in at $12.60?
I wouldn't take the job. And nobody else here would either.
$12.60, and my full-time people been there 3 years and they're just making 13.
Yeah, it's a joke.
So somebody can come in fresh off the street, making nearly what somebody's been there 5 years and is dedicated, cause I have a college student, I have 2 college students that they come back to work because the scheduling and the environment, and they enjoy it.
So, do I need to make a motion for a higher amount, or ask anybody here if they'd work for $13 an hour?
So, how are things going on the pay, committee?
We have had 2 meetings. They are going well. I believe a request is going out soon for, or area counties with similar numbers, you know,
Right,
similar. We're doing our best, but I think it's gonna take us just a little bit of time. We're really,
I
we're
expect
feeling
it
very
will.
confident, that we're gonna have some good information, but right now, we're still just in the fact finding and the early stages.
Okay. We kinda said we were gonna hold off until we heard from everybody, but it's up to the board. If y'all wanna take a vote now, we can. If you wanna wait, we can wait. We are only got 5 people here tonight, I'll say
I
that.
think since we have set the precedent of waiting,
So we're gonna
whatever
discuss,
you all think.
Yeah, and I've already made a note
Since
right
we've
here on
made,
my,
we've
on my
set the
thing
precedent
to
of
consider
waiting
that.
for the others
I mean, we've
to
talked
hear
about that
everyone,
before.
but
Yeah, I've got a list
course,
of
on one vote.
recommendations as we've gone along, because
Yeah.
we were trying to do version 1, and then,
Then the next version, yeah,
yeah.
I agree.
So I'm gonna fix that one slide about the cataloger and resend it to Mariana, and she can just email it to y'all.
I was
I
about to
didn't
say, I
want
would
all
like
that
to get-
paper.
I would like to get a copy of it whenever.
Yeah,
it's okay.
I didn't wanna put all that paper on y'all.
I appreciate it.
And, so that's all I have, and thank you for your time.
Thank you so
And
much.
Miss Polly, I have been to several of y'all's events up at the library, and you all do a wonderful job. I love it. If you all do not follow their Facebook page, they post a lot of things on there. So you all also are doing a job well done. So thank you for what you all
We
do.
appreciate that.
Agriculture Extension Office. Is she here?
The other library.
Oh, I'm sorry, we got both libraries here?
Is she here?
Oh, there it is right
No,
there. I'm
Courtney's
sorry, I
not
just don't.
here.
so we're gonna go over all these later.
I think they had, she might be sick. 'cause they
Yeah,
can't-
Okay.
yeah, we will go back, we'll go back and,
Yeah, all right, so we'll
Tweak 'em
catch
all.
it.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
'Cause I ain't gonna work for $13 an hour.
Here,
Why
here.
not?
If I absolutely had to have a job, I guess I would, but
I know what you're saying about it. Can I ask you one question? What's the age group of the temporary employees that you have?
Anywhere from 16 to 21, like college students. I do unintentionally hire 15-year-olds, cause you can't ask how old you are on the thing, even though I would be in trouble if I didn't go by the labor law. But I occasionally hire one of those when they're gonna turn within 2 or 3 months. I love hiring high school students. They've never had a job, so I can train them. It's my favorite thing to do. And I do think a library job is a good job for a young person.
And another,
Especially when you need shelf books on the bottom shelf, right?
Yes.
a good option for the summer programming, the graduating seniors, they have to have, well, even those that are in their second
Yeah,
year of
they're
college,
gonna have their
the Tennessee
volunteer hours.
Promise, volunteer
And
hours.
we do that.
Okay, great. That, I mean, that's
That's the one.
mutually beneficial.
That's the one volunteer section I'll take. I don't take many who need probation hours or
Right.
whatever, community service hours,
No,
because
neither.
they don't wanna be there, you know. They don't know how to dress, that's a whole different,
And you got lots of kids.
yeah.
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 So, anyway,
Thank
makes
you, Ms.
sense.
Polly.
Anything else, sir?
No, thank you.
So, thank you.
All right, so Tullahoma Library's not here this evening. We'll catch them up later. Agriculture Extension Office. Are they here?
no.
Okay.
Anybody?
All right, so,
Scott?
Soil Conservation.
No,
Oh, yep, all right, so,
there's just 2 people here.
and Annie's not here.
Veteran service not here.
All right, Scott Leduc, 911, 911, however you want to say it. It's a little different than 911. Let's see, what's our page number here? What page is he on?
27.
27, I see it, there we go. I kept looking for 911, couldn't find it in front of me. Yeah, 27.
Weenie.
Oh, I was already open there somehow by accident, didn't even know it. All right. Scott, do you have a copy of this that we have?
Is it what I submitted to you?
I have no idea.
It is.
was, okay, so it's up here, if you need to see. All right,
Everybody got a copy of this?
yeah. All right, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. You know, we would just like to go with the suggestion from the county mayor. Yeah, as everybody knows, things are changing in the economy and things like that, so we really appreciate your support. And without you, obviously, we wouldn't be doing as well as we are. It's a big team effort, and we're spending a lot of money on our side. We actually just spent about $1 million to increase all of what we do on our side of the fence, but we can't do anything without employees, and you get a whole lot better set of employees if you can pay them well, and you all have done an amazing job since I've been here of doing that, so thank you for that. And all we're trying to really do is, I think we're where we are, where we need to be with pay. We're trying to keep up with the strange times in the economy, and I don't think we're gonna break any ceilings with these requests, but I just don't want to fall behind our local competitors, which are the surrounding counties in 911. That happened to us before, and it was not pleasant. So I don't have any major presentations. It's pretty
No,
much.
that's fine. And then, I was just scanning down line items, and Marianne, I think I know this. So the 39% drop on other salary and wages, I assume that was another one of those payouts of
The
vacation.
bonuses.
The bonuses,
Yeah.
okay. And, but that's also where some of your wrap-up was for people who left, right?
Yes, when we pay out leave.
Payout leave,
accrued
right.
leave, vacation.
Because we
paid
didn't pay
out over
40%'s worth of bonuses last year. So-
Yes.
Right.
So that's just, that one number jumps around, especially for a smaller group. And the medical insurance up 23%. Do you have somebody pick up insurance?
Okay,
Or-
you know, we increased it at $100 a month
Yeah.
in January this year, so next year it'll be, for the whole year.
Just his percentage says 23%. That
And
that was higher
they
than others,
could
right?
have had, depending on who took it or who didn't take it,
Yeah.
it kind of, it can
I'll
move
just double
around.
check. I know that happens with smaller groups. One person takes insurance and it makes their number look
Yeah.
wildly
Yeah.
different. It's
Correct.
just one person.
That's
so-
right.
Most of that's that $1,200 a year
Right. All right.
per employee if they take it.
Anybody got any questions for 911? They're there when you need them. That's nice. So-
Yes.
I got a question. How many hours does your dispatchers work a week?
Most of them work 40 hours a week. We do have some overtime. I've been experiencing about 3 to 5% of my total payroll and overtime right now, and that's really good. Things come and go. I've got an employee that has to take 86 hours of mandatory time off. So what that does is we pay that employee, plus we incur time and a half employees for the 86 hours. So some of that is a little unpleasant to me because that's a county policy, and I understand we'll follow the policy. It doesn't do anything good for my operation because the person doesn't want to take off. It's mandatory. So little things like that come up, but we've done so well at trying to be fully staffed, well paid, so that our employees can take vacation time and can have a life, because that job is really stressful.
Yeah, they may not want to take off, but they should take off.
Yes, when you want to take
But
off.
they can transfer that to sick.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Haven't you had a
It's
big
not
turnover rate
if they don't want to.
in the
they
last year or so?
We don't.
No, actually,
Right.
we started with, when I got there 3 years ago, we had
Just
11
let 'em know they're
dispatchers.
going.
And we have had some turnover where a person moved to Texas with her family. Another person, there's a termination that happened. Another person decided to go to Manchester Police Department you know, and one person is out on medical leave beyond the time that the county will allow them to be employed. So expect that one to come back. But we have 4 trainees right now.
And you got an assistant.
Yes,
How many hours do they do a week?
that's 40 hours,
And how about you?
40 hours. So it's
That's
basic.
pretty good.
Yeah, it's basic. I mean, it's running really well.
Okay.
So we don't have a lot of overtime. Now, when we get to Bonnaroo, we will have some overtime. That's reflected in the budget, in our
Is that
budget.
your overtime pay reflection?
Yes, and that's also in our budget, though, to reimburse you all for that extra, because we got reimbursed from Bonnaroo to pay for that, right?
Yep.
And it's been working out very well. We're very happy with the arrangement, and we're growing by leaps and bounds in our quality. And all of this works together. It's not just about the dollars and cents. It's about the management, the happiness of the employees, the training, and the technology put together. So, and we're working hard to help out where we can on the county side a little bit, where we just spent $95,000 to enhance the radio system that you all put into place. So we realize that there are things that we can do on our end. If you're handcuffed and cannot invest in the radio system, we came up and the board voted quickly and unanimously to spend $95,000, and so all that's rolling forward. So we're doing everything we can do on our side to balance these things out. If we're asking for more money on our side, we can only spend money on certain things, and that happened to be one that we could do to give back and say, you know, hey, we're in this together. So, and that's just this year. Actually, we're spending $700,000 in total. So that's it. There's a whole lot to say, but I don't want to take your time,
It's
honestly.
okay. Anybody have any other questions? All right, appreciate it.
Thank you.
And then animal control.
Okay.
All right.
Close.
Previously it turned into.
29.
29.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Same page, isn't it? It's the same one? Oh, yeah, okay.
Basically, as a whole, I didn't add much. There's just a few areas that we were weak in, didn't have enough money this previous year. Custodial supplies, I added 500 there. Drugs and medical supplies, I added 1,000, and that's probably not going to cover everything, but I can make it work drawing from other areas.
So explain what you use those for everybody, if you don't mind.
We do distemper parvo shots when the dogs come in, worming,
That's what I
stuff,
figured, something
yeah.
like that. Just wanna go
And we
back.
didn't have enough last year, but I was able, through donations and stuff like that, make ends meet. I would like to add an additional officer. We are, for what we do, we're behind everybody else. We've got a good program going, but we get pulled different directions and things have to stop. If I had another person, all the wheels could keep turning no matter what was going on.
And y'all cover, tell everybody the amount of territory y'all cover.
Oh, I don't remember the exact,
But
it's,
you're covering everything that's not in the city limits of the county,
yes,
right?
yes, yeah.
So,
I mean, there's times where if we're on different corners, that's 30, 40 minutes of driving just to get from, you know, point A to point B.
and y'all cover like Beech Grove and.
Oh, yeah.
And all
Yeah.
the smaller communities, right?
Yeah, and then the shelter itself, it's different now, and we've added a lot over there, so just taking care of what we got, it eats up a couple hours a day. Well, calls with the employees we got now, things have to cease moving. The phone, you know, it don't get answered like it should, so we're starting to, never did before, but we're starting to get some complaints because we just cannot get to everybody right now.
All right. How many dogs or y'all mostly process dogs, you other animals as well, I
We,
guess?
I mean, we touch on a little bit of
Anything,
everything. Like
yeah.
last year, I think we did 30 or 40 cats, you know, we don't hold them there, but I mean, if we can help them get them to the vet and find resources outside of the
Yeah.
shelter, then yeah, we'll,
How many animals a year y'all handle, do you know?
a year, 685 dogs last year. 30, 40 cats, some snakes, rats, mice. I mean, it's,
Horses, cows,
yeah, it's a
everything.
little bit of everything,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And that number is, you know, 4, 5, 6 years ago, that number has almost doubled, you know. And we could do more with more people. We're gonna be able to do more. It's gonna go up.
Anybody got any questions?
I do have a question. Do you believe that the $7,500, line item 401 for animal and food supplies, do you think that
We
will
don't,
work?
we don't purchase food. We have enough donations.
Okay.
But if we did not have donations, that would not cover a whole year.
Okay.
It's, we go through 300 pounds a week.
So you could also move that money, if you got donations coming in pretty
Mm.
regular, if you need to move that money over to medicine or.
And that's what we've done.
One
Yeah,
line item.
but,
Okay.
you know, but if those donations disappear and we need that money, then we're really in trouble then, so.
That's just a safeguard.
Yeah.
Get that.
We're fortunate on that end of things.
And all those outside pens that's been put up are yours or the city's?
They've been donated to us,
I
to the
mean-
county.
To the county?
Yeah.
Cause I don't know if anybody's went back there, but I've been back there several times and they've got cages around the dog pound now because they're overworked and
Yeah, and and doing that adds to it because we gotta scoop
Right,
that out every
right.
day. It's harder than what it is working in the building itself.
Yeah,
well, I agree with extra employee. Of course, I'm not the time to vote on it tonight,
yeah.
but I agree with it. They do need the help.
Yeah. Anything else? Appreciate what y'all do.
Yes.
Thank you.
Don't have any questions for me. All right.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see. So that's the last one we got tonight, right? Everybody's done up. Next meeting, possible May 7th, so that's next, no, it's a week from Tuesday.
Well,
When is that?
okay, for whatever reason, forgot that
Yep.
we had set next Thursday, May 2nd, as our work study with the entire commission. And I
Yeah,
was talking to Dennis,
we're not ready yet.
and he thought maybe we could do that on May 7th, because the 3 departments that haven't come should not be too long.
Yep,
If y'all thought that was a good idea, and just have it, you know, we could have it in the big
yeah.
commission room, have those 3 departments, and then go through it.
So we would actually get next week off?
Yeah.
That would really hurt my feelings if I'm not gonna be in town for 3 of the days next week, so that'd be great. We'll be in Washington with our
That's
community
when you
council
can
first
catch me
week.
in Bartlett.
Is that agreeable to everybody to have?
Oh, yeah.
I think it sounds like a good
Is
idea.
that the work session May 7th?
Yeah,
Nice.
so that's a
do we
week
have-
from
Do we need
Tuesday.
to have another meeting? We're gonna have another meeting before that.
No, that's what she's
No, we're
saying.
gonna have those 3 departments
Oh, those three,
present
the
and
one
then
that's didn't
move
be
right
tonight.
into a
Yeah,
work
we had
session.
one
That's
for
what
the,
I'm
we had one scheduled for the second, but we're not doing that one.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's good.
All right, sounds good.
And, be thinking ahead a little bit, so is our normal meeting the last Thursday or the fourth Thursday?
The 4th.
So the fourth Thursday, I think, is on the 21st, and I will be out of town that night. So we might wanna think about whether we can change that meeting, or I'll be in Missouri helping my mom with something, so I won't be here that day,
You're not
guaranteed.
gonna be here the whole week,
No, it'll just be a day or two, so I'd probably be here Tuesday,
so if you want Tuesday or Monday, be
yeah.
fine.
So we'll sort that out. I just wanted to put that on everybody's radar, make sure we're not conflicting with any other meetings. All right. Anything else? So what we got left is rural solid waste, ambulance EMS, and the highway department. Aside from some of these, and some of these other, the library, Tallulah Library. We'll just get all in that we can, but we do need to go ahead, I think. Because I think at this point, we've heard enough that we kind of have a pretty good idea. We can discuss some of these things that Tim's brought up about the pay for various groups and the extra requests that we've heard. Start throwing those on the table for everybody. talk about where the bottom line stands right now before we start making any changes. All right? Y'all got anything else? We'll be adjourned. Let's go home, go get some dinner.